Jade, and I want to introduce myself to you and talk to you about something that I've lived through called the finish line. And I'll start with track and field, okay? I used to run track and field. I ran the 800-meter race and many other events. But the 800 always stood out to me and was the reason why I got recruited in college to run. So the 800 is a sprint now. It was considered middle distance when I was in high school, but by the time I finished college, it really became a sprint because you had to take off and keep that quick pace the entire time. You would run it in 2 minutes and some change, and like that, it was over. Now, recently, I've had the opportunity to drive down a street, and as you're driving, you can see how long the distance is on your GPS. So we'll say you have 800 meters before your turn. And actually, just yesterday, I was driving and saw that I had 800 meters left, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is pretty long to be running or even walking. So it was a longer distance to sprint. And what would happen is there was two really important parts to the 800, the start and the finish. How you start sets up your entire race. So if you get out slow and you're short and petite like me, you could get blocked in, and then people can elbow you and push you. One time I even got ran over by the girls in my race because I didn't take out quick enough. And the other thing that can happen is that if you don't end well, then you can burn out and find yourself just losing the whole race that you just ran. Not just by placement, but you can lose all the progress you made in the last 200 meters. The last 200 meters of the 800 is the hardest part. It's when your body is so exhausted, you just want to stop. People call it getting a monkey on their back. It's like you just want to slow down and sit down, even though you know that the finish line is literally only one curve away. One curve away. You know that people will laugh at you. They'll say, woo, 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 as you're running, and they will make fun of you, especially if you're in high school. You do not want to get passed by everybody at the end. But all of that can feel like it doesn't even matter because of the level of pain that you start feeling at the finish line. And that's what I want to talk to you about in life. In life, you may go through things that feel like that last 200-meter race. It's like you're watching all your friends, you're starting out really, really strong, but then you're watching all your friends start to seem like they're passing you by. And people that you're like, you just started this 2 years ago, a year ago, and you're excelling and God is blessing you and I want to be happy for you. But when is it going to be my time, Lord? When am I going to get the opportunity to have the same blessing? What am I doing wrong? Is it that you don't love me the same way? Am I not pretty enough, smart enough? Do I not have enough skill sets? Do I need to go back to school? What is it? I'm trying everything I can to get from point A to point B. And it's not because I'm selfish or because I'm trying to have the wrong heart. I want to do your will and I want to be used by you, but I just don't feel like I can get there. I can't finish this race. And I'm at the 200-meter point and I just want to stop. Well, that can happen in our lives because we have just been going for so long and doing what God's telling us to do for so long and not seeing the results that we expect or want to see at this point. So we start doing things like comparing ourselves or blaming ourselves or feeling guilty about our situation. I've been there, done that. And when people tell you, no, I've never done that, I've always just had faith, they are lying to you because somewhere in that process they've had to battle. Even Jesus had to battle through the Garden of Gethsemane and didn't want to go to the cross. So let's be real with each other in the body of Christ. So let me tell you what happened with me. When I got to year 12, I said I was at year 12. Actually, I'm at year 14 now. But when I was at year 12 of trying to get pregnant with my husband in the context of marriage, in a happy relationship, we had enough money to care for the child. We really wanted this child. We were believers and pastors of a church, and everything seemed to be going well, but this one area, it seemed like God wouldn't answer for us. We had prayed for people to have miracles, seen miracles in people's lives. We had prayed and prophesied, giving people words, and we were seeing it happen all over the world. I mean, people were contacting my husband saying, yeah, you gave me a word, and I opened up a whole HIV center in Africa. I mean, just in Kenya, all kinds of amazing things were happening. But we had this one problem in our life that we couldn't seem to figure out. And so towards the end, in February of 2017, we received a call to go visit a young lady. And it was apparently that she was about to have this baby, and we were told that she wanted to give this baby up for adoption. So we were like, cool, we're there. Got up, rushed over to where she was, looked down. Her stomach was completely swollen. I mean, she was at 9 months, and she was about to burst. And I said, okay, well, God, if this is you, we didn't go looking for this, so we're open. And we, by the end of that day, have went to Walmart, purchased items for her. We exchanged numbers. We had got a car seat. We got the nursery ready. Everything was ready for this baby to come. And went to the hospital with her the next day. And her family members showed up, not her parents, but family members showed up, and they were not happy about this. Long story short, we got everything prepared, called our parents' family, were ready for it, and then never heard from her again. So our hearts were broken. We lost a baby boy that was growing in our hearts. And again, after 12 years, this was just the 200-meter point of our race. We were just undone. Like, God, what does this mean? Are we cursed? What's going on? And that is a lie. So we had to just keep trusting. Well, a couple weeks later, we had a conference we were traveling to speak at, and it was about marriage, a marriage conference. Well, the part we were doing was we were teaching on marriage, and found ourselves at this conference, and I was on IUI at this point, and this was the first time I had went that route. I had done all kinds of other things to get pregnant, but this is the first time I used IUI, and I was told that no one else in my infertility support group had ever got pregnant on the first time of IUI. Most of them had never got pregnant with IUI. It's very hard for many women that are going through infertility to ever get pregnant on it. And so I went on it kind of hoping for the best, but not knowing, because I had taken hundreds probably of pregnancy tests by this point. Went to take the test in the middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and they say the first pee you have in the morning, you want to take the test. So I went to take the test and brought my husband in there so I wouldn't go down too low with depression if it said no, that I wasn't pregnant. And lo and behold, I was pregnant. It was a miracle. But I didn't even know. I had no clue that morning. I had no clue 2 weeks before, when we had lost that son that we thought we were going to get, that the Lord was preparing me for the answer to my prayer. And it was going to be coming only 2 weeks later. I could have just said, God, forget you. I'm done. Forget all of this. I'm not going to serve you anymore. I'm just going to turn my back and say, forget it. But I was at the finish line. And I'm using that to share with you today that if you are at a place where you're going through business infertility, you're going through success infertility, we're going through relational infertility, whatever it is, or you feel like the promise that's in front of you is just not happening, and it doesn't seem like you're getting a breakthrough, and then things are even being brought right in front of you, and it seems like they're snatched away. I know how you feel. I only gave you one example, but that's been done to me many times. And I know exactly how you feel. You're not alone. And the word for you is that God has a double portion for you. It is coming. Do not quit. It gets even harder at the finish line, but it's a test. At the very end, it's going to be worth it if you don't give up, if you don't grow weary in well-doing. The reward is going to be so worth it. The plans God has for you are more than you could imagine. How do I know? Because not only did he give me this daughter that I got pregnant with, Sarah Elizabeth, who's 19 months now, but he also gave me a second child that he had promised to me. he kept telling me he was going to give me twins, and I was saying, where are they, God? Where are they, God? Well, at 3 months old, we received a call about another little boy. I lost that little boy that I thought I was going to adopt, but I would adopt a boy. And this little boy came into our life while Sarah was 3 months old, and we adopted him a few months later. So now we have what is the technical term is virtual twins. They're only 6 weeks apart. I hope that this has been an encouragement to somebody. I know it's kind of long, but me sharing my story with you and reminding you of what you already know. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, it's not even entered into your heart what God has in store for you. It's going to come in the appointed time. Don't give up, my sister, my friend, my brother. It's on the way. You keep being that warrior that we all know you are. Blessings.